You went to go sleep with sisters, and then you got in there. Don't wake him up when you're stomping. Your noise.
This is delicious. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, that's so good. My hair's so unruly. Well, I survived professional development. You know, um, I was talking to some other teachers from other schools. Like, what did y'all do for professional development? I got a little feisty yesterday, not too feisty, but I think because I take professional development seriously, and so sometimes I can be naive about things that veteran teachers have, you know, they take in stride. They're just like, I mean, they're going on 30 years or even 20 years, and they're just like rolling their eyes. And in reality, TEA is such a horrible agency. I mean, they're horrible. I don't think I've hated anything as much as I hate TEA. Yeah, I said it. I absolutely despise that system, and they are just um, never mind the fact that they demanded teachers go to work, but then they were all working. They were all distance working. They were working from home and doing Zoom calls. And I've hated them ever since. And I use the word hate. I do. I hate them because I don't see TEA as people. I see it as an organization that acts like robots. Like there's no human element to them. So I don't even see them as people. And I want to clarify that because I don't hate people, but if any members of TEA came to me and said, "Well, I'm a person," then I would say, "Prove it," because TEA is an agency that is harming students and teachers, and I just I have a problem with them. They broke the law. I don't know if you know this. TEA was sued. I'll put a link in the box because I just woke up, but I'll give you the details. Houston Chronicle found out that there were decades worth of IEP suppressions. I'm going to use the word suppression. Basically, there was a quota on IEPs that could be made on students in the elementary schools, and I mean, I'm pretty sure it took years for them to discover this, and so finally, Houston Chronicle broke the story, and the federal government had to step in. So now, today, we have these, we can create IEPs or MTSS reports, it's interventions and goals for students who do not have accommodations, because more than likely they should have had I have been given IEPs from kindergarten, you know. And yeah, yes, I've seen these students. I've had these students in my class. Dozens of students that should have IEPs and they don't. So when I learned, and I figured this all out, because I think when Texas got sued, or the TEA, I should say, it was, I was in my third year. Yeah, I was year 3 teacher. For those who are new to my channel, it looks like I'm a veteran teacher, but I'm actually a late bloomer. And so I had to come up with a way to create a class that no student could fall through the cracks. It would be very hard for a student to fall through any cracks in my class. And the student would have to have serious behavior issues to fail my class. And usually that's what it is. It's behavior. And then, you know, that's when counselors and APs and mom and dad can step in. But that would be the only reason you would fail my class. I even had an admin tell me yesterday, your class is basically an MTSS class, or it's just my whole curriculum and the way I run my classes is an IEP. So I did that because I thought, wow. And that was the mom kicking in me, like, how dare y'all do this to our children? Now, I homeschooled my babies. So it would be very hypocritical of me to say, I can't believe that, you know, public school did this. That goes against everything that I stand for, to be shocked or be in disbelief that children were falling through the cracks, because it is the reason I homeschooled. What people don't realize is that I had my children in elementary school, public elementary school. Evan and Katie were in first and kindergarten. I had just had Sam, and I was going through a very rocky, I mean, our marriage was finally on its last leg. And I just didn't, we had talked about homeschooling, but see that this separation was going to happen. I just didn't know if I could do it. And, but I remember getting a report. No, it was open house. And so I went, and my ex-husband and I were in the classroom, and the teacher told us there were 38 students in the class. My ex-husband is a very big man. He's like Bear, but taller. So he it takes up a whole room, and so at first I thought, well, he's just big. That's why he's overpowering this whole room, and he was knocking into desks and stuff. And then when she said, I have 38 students, I looked around and I was like, oh my God, they're wall-to-wall desks. Then she said, Christianus, nobody calls Evan Christianus. His name is Evan. Christianus, so she didn't even bother to get to know him or anything like that. So she says, Christianus is a good student. He's a delight. He's such a sweetheart. He's kind to everybody. And he's so smart. He's just a smarty. I open up then I go to his desk, and they have his little folder in there of all his work. Not one letter, not one number traced. Just a bunch of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs and dragons on every page. He was also into whales. whales and vaginas because
Well, vagina.
because he I let him read my book. I had a pregnancy book, and it had pictures of illustrations, not actual pictures, illustrations of vaginas. And he copied that. And he had vaginas all over the house and on the fridge. And he even gifted one to his grandpa. And his grandpa said, "Is this a football?"
A hairy football.
A hairy football. He goes, "Is it a football with hair on it?" And I said, "No, Dad, that's a vagina." Anyway, his artwork was all over this paperwork. And I realized he's going to slip through the cracks. My baby's going to slip through the cracks. And I didn't give a shit. If I was going to go through a divorce, I was going to lie, beg, steal. I was going to figure out a way to stay home and homeschool my kids. Hey, child support for 4 kids is a paycheck working at McDonald's. So I made it happen. And I homeschooled them. So it didn't surprise me when I read that article and that they were putting principals, districts were bullying principals, and principals were then bullying their teachers to slow down on the IEPs. Not everybody needs an IEP. Yeah, they do. They do. The more, there's so many reasons why a student would need IEP. It was making, so TEA was pressuring districts to have a quota, and the districts were then pressuring the principals to have a quota. Wow. To just harm the special population is just insane. That Texas has the audacity to do that. So I came in as a teacher to knowing all of that. And even when I was in year 3 and we heard about the lawsuit, I wasn't surprised, because that's the whole reason I became a teacher, was to help students get an education that my children had. I wanted to be in tune with my students, and I have never failed. I've never failed. Are there students that hated my guts? Yes. And it's usually the extremely intelligent ones, the ones that should be in AP classes. I rubbed them the wrong way because I know the dialogue that they had. I had it with my students, with my children. I made my children take AP classes because I thought that general ed was bare minimum. A majority of general ed social study teachers do bare minimum because they're coaches. Now, I have a friend, co-curriculum writer. She's the exception to the rule. She really is. I got one of her she's a coach, but she says, "I hate that because I'm a coach and I'm an AP teacher, and I take it seriously." And she does. She does. Very rare you'll find an AP coach, an AP content instructor, and a coach. But she's all in. She is all in. But she's the exception to the rule, and I said what I said. So I used to tell my kids, "No, you're taking AP classes. You're not taking general ed. You're taking AP classes. They're extremely hard, but they're equivalent. The AP class you're taking will be the equivalent of the homeschool curriculum I would have been doing had I not decided to go back to college." And there was no discussion. That was it. So, I thought, if I can control anything, I will control my world, my classroom, and my students are going to get the best. So I've always butt heads with students who should be in AP and they chose to be in general ed because they're lazy and unmotivated, and they thought they were going to get an easy class. They thought they were just going to get a bunch of worksheets, and I've had in my 6 years, I've had 3 students. It's only been 3, by the way, who didn't like me because of that, because I was tough and held them to a high standard. Anyway, I digress. The whole point of this rant is that TEA has these quartiles, you know, a report card for schools, and they have all these criterias to get distinctions, and principals want distinctions because you get money when you have a distinction. But the person who's making up all the rules is a person with all the money, and they have all this money, and they shouldn't be making rules. They should just give the money away, But no, only if you deserve it. Well, doesn't everybody deserve money? If we all had the same amount of money, wouldn't we all be doing wonderful with it? But they're only going to give certain amount of funding. But then at the flip side is if you're a school that doesn't have any distinctions, and you are suffering academically, and you've been making F's, okay? Your school has been making F's, and you also get money. You get tons of money for tutors and counselors and professional development and extra resources to get you. So it's like average students are screwed because you're only going to get money if you suck, and you're only going to get money if you excel. If you just go and do your job, you're getting nothing. You're nothing. Meeting expectations, there's no reward for that, apparently. But falling below expectations and exceeding expectations, you're going to get some money. Texas is so full of shit. Anyway, I don't know how to tell my admin this, and I think I'm going to write a letter to my principal, who I love. I would go through fire for him. He hired me, but I know he can tell I'm not off my game. But I am, I'm becoming bitey. That's what I like to say. I used to say that to my kids. You're being very bitey. You're biting me for no reason. And I'm pretty sure he's wondering, why are you being so hostile and not such a team player anymore? Well, there's just only so much gaslighting a person can take. And I feel like I need to write a letter and then have a conference with him and explain where I'm coming from. Because this is a school that I want to be with for the rest of my career. And it's disappointing me. The expectations are disappointing me because I feel like I'm exceeding expectations. And I feel like the school board is pushing our admin to push teachers to do better. And that drives me crazy. I want teachers to be left alone. Leave us alone. We have not bailed on you. We did not exit in the great educator exodus. We're not part of that. We stuck through it. And now you're micromanaging the shit out of us because scores are low and attendance is low. And that has nothing to do with us. And I am not Chuck E. Cheese. I am not going to entertain these children, even though I am. I can proudly say that my class is so student centered. Their mental health is constantly being considered in everything that I do in my class. The district buys into capturing kids' hearts. So do I. So do I. And I just feel like, no, that's enough already. We were told that we were going to topple the economy if we didn't go back to work. We were told that we need to jump through hoops to get students to turn on their Zoom cameras. We were told we couldn't, that our grades meant nothing because eventually we were going to have to, and that was a district decision, to just repair all those F's and zeros and give them second chances. We were told that we were going to have to do more work. We're not paid extra. We're not paid extra to do this extra tutoring. We have another class. And we were told to do all this. It doesn't matter that you have a teacher like me that can do it and wants to do it and will do it. That's not the point. The point is we're expected to do it because the students refused to take the STAR test, or they did not go to their Zoom classes during the pandemic, and they did not learn any content, and they failed their STAR test. So they either failed it or they didn't take it, and that is teachers' fault. And then in the state of Texas, they went and made it a law that all those students that failed the STAR test or had low attendance during the pandemic have to go to this House Bill 45. House Bill 45, look it up in Texas. They, by law, have to complete so many hours of tutoring. Who's tutoring them? Who's tutoring them? You gonna hire some extra tutors? No. Teachers. Teachers are gonna do it. Because it's our fault. We are constantly being the janitors of students and their parents' messes. And we don't get paid enough for that.
Come on. You're a pretty girl.
So I'm going to say something that's so controversial. We got a 2% bonus. We're going to get 3 stipends. And we got, the first one was a 1%. And this one was 2%. So I got about $1,000 as a bonus. And I just... Here comes my baby. Here comes my baby. $1,000 is about $9,000 short. That check was $9,000 short. Us teachers should.
Tell them the truth about teacher pay.
Well, that it's low.
Well, without that $1,000, we don't have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, teacher. We don't have any. We don't have credit cards. We don't even have a car payment. Teachers get paid peanuts. We get paid peanuts. I'm ranting. I'm upset because I don't think admin quite understand the mental. So I stood up and I said something at the professional development that we were all talking about under our breath. Now, I'm sure my coworkers didn't appreciate me doing that. And they're probably saying we can never complain to this woman because she's a big mouth. But I feel like we're fake.
Or they complained to you so you would speak up.
No, but I don't think anybody was complaining to me so that I would speak up. I just think that that's what we do. That's what teachers do, and you know it. We just complain to each other, but then when it's time to We seem to think that we work for a corporation where if your boss doesn't like your attitude, they can fire you. They're not gonna fire us. Well, they'll put it in the T-test. What domain? What domain? For those of you who don't know Texas, T-test is our evaluation system. We have so many domains, and then of course they evaluate on each domain. Which one says that I have to have a good attitude at professional development? You can't fire a teacher. There's a teacher there at my school. I'm going to edit that out. Trust me, bad teachers are not getting fired. And those are bad teachers. Teachers who bully their kids. They say ugly things. They don't care about their grades. They mess up their grades. They're not organized. They're still there. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to complain. And so I did. I said, well, we were thinking that, we were discussing that we didn't see how attendance was our problem because we were supposed to discuss in small group what we thought about the attendance rate for our school. We were at quartile 3 or 2 or something like that. It wasn't that low. And what can we do? What can we do to fix attendance? Can we, Kimosabi? There is no we. The attendance has nothing to do with me. And then there was this teacher. God, I think I'm going to be nice so that kids can come to my class. Okay. You mean you're not nice just because you want to be nice? You're only nice to entice children? Aren't we all supposed to be nice? See, that's what I had a problem with. You're insinuating that we're off-putting, that we're offensive, and that we're not being professional enough to get these kids into class. This isn't church. This isn't, we're not a mission, and I'm not a missionary. I'm not going to go out and spread the word of God and get you to come to the church of school. That's silliness. That's absolute silliness. And I am the teacher that had students who would go to jail and then only show up to come to my class. You know, I've had students that were disabled and they would come just to be in my class. I'm not an idiot. I know what it takes to capture kids' hearts and to be human. But to say, well, I'm nice so the kids can come to my class. You know, lady, this isn't 1988. You don't have to kiss your principal's ass to work there. And that's a problem with teachers. They think that they work in a traditional management setting where they could get fired. You can get fired if you date a student. You can get fired if you punch a student. But there's a teacher shortage. So I think I can speak up and not risk losing my job. My God. Anyway, attendance has nothing to do with me. And I resent being gaslit. And sure enough, the moment I said that, we were met with a rebuttal. Of course we don't think that you have that power. Of course we know that is out of your control. Of course. But is there anything, wait a minute. If it's not in our control, and why are we spending time talking about it? This is professional development. And you chose to make copies of the quartiles and all the distinction scores and whatever, and all this paperwork to show our grades and to show the percentages that we're at and compare us to the other 40 schools. apparently you think it is up to us. Because you could have been teaching us how to do Avid. You could have been teaching students how to properly use Nearpod.
How much is it?
I mean,
hold on. Hey, Lisette. Remember?
Yes, I love you. Okay, so I'm just being complaining and feisty, and let me tell you something what I found at the Dollar Tree. Y'all know what these are? I'm in love with little miniature stuff. I've been, ever since I was a little girl, we Gen Xers, we didn't only just get big kitchen sets, you know, the metal ones. You remember the metal kitchen sets? But we also had little miniature kitchen sets, right? And just little saucepans and spoons and kettles, and oh my God, I loved it. I even had a miniature Corningware. I had the play Corningware set. Oh my God, I just miss it. I miss being a little girl. And I remember fake food, and I remember all the china, the little, they used to sell them at the Dollar General. You know what I'm talking about, the little teeny miniature tea sets. You could get them for $1.50. My daughters had dozens of sets. Dozens of them. They break easily and you can lose them, but I would buy them. Every time we go to the Dollar General, the girls would say, Mom, I lost my tea set, or I'm missing a cup. And I would say, get one. $1.50. And then the little miniature ones. You know, the little, oh my God, I love miniature anything. And now they sell these little miniature food products. And they have so many, called Real Littles Micro Mart. Right? Are y'all into this? And then inside, okay, little tissue. There's little gummies. Well, they're fake, right? But are they precious? Aren't they precious? More stuff for the hoarder in me. Oh my gosh. So I saw these and I thought, oh my, bird's eye corn. And what's inside this? Let's see what's inside. Here we go. a little bowl of corn.
I just pissed Kitty off.
Why? What'd you say?
My phone, for some reason, changed Pampa to Pampers, and I left it.
I saw it. I just saw the message, you dork.
So I told her to pick it up after one in Pampers.
Okay. So I'm in love with that. That's my new thing. Oh. So I'm a disgruntled teacher. I'm a little upset with the way we're being treated. And it's not it's not particularly by my admin. I'm an intelligent woman. I know that our admin are being bullied by the district. I know it. I know they are. And no one is a better advocate for teachers than the principal that I have. I mean that. Those aren't empty words. I mean, the hell he went through to get us inclusion support is ridiculous, because he should have gone through all that. He should not have had to beg. And so, yeah, I'm a little upset. I got to get my thoughts together and figure out what I'm going to do. The last time I was going to go to a board meeting, it was on a Friday, and then but that's when I had that emergency extraction. I had to pull out that wisdom tooth. Well, I had two teeth I had to pull out. The wisdom tooth and the tooth that it infected. So anyway, we've got lots of things to do today, Bear and I, at our own pace, to get the house ready for the kids. I gotta sweep and mop the back den. And so the kids are coming home. I have all the groceries bought for feeding them, because you got to feed your kids.
Why?
But we haven't gotten the Thanksgiving stuff. So I'm going to get off right now, get off a video, and Bear and I are going to work through that. I love how we're going to do our grocery list. We're going to do our grocery list by pulling out our phones. Right, baby?
Yep.
Go through the list. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have the kids in the house. I love their noise. And for those of you who are joining us live, they know. I've already informed them. I said, we're going to be live. They don't care. They're like, that's fine. So, they get it. They understand it. It is a little, they're loud. They're loud. I know y'all tune in because we're very calm and comforting, but this is for kids. They're adults. They're adults. 5 of them, actually. Yeah, 5. They're all adults, but they're loud. Just want you to know that. And there's something else.
Rambunctious.
Very.
Boisterous.
Everyone talks over each other. Everyone talks at each other, and they're funny. They're good kids.
But they're all adults.
They are adults, but they kind of.
When they walk in that door again, they become kids, though.
They do. When they come into this house, they're little kids with their mama, and they're just kind of funny. And I want to kiss them and squeeze them and smell them.
Ugh. I don't want to smell anybody.
I do. I want to smell my babies. I love them. I miss them sometimes, but in reality, God, Bear and I are having so much fun. Are we not? Aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We're having so much fun just being us.
This is the dating we never got to.
Yeah.
We didn't get to play house. We didn't get to date.
Yeah.
We had instant family. Big family.
Yeah. He didn't just get an instant kid, because he already had his own. But, I mean, he went from being a quiet dad with a quiet little girl. He just jumped into chaos. That's what me and my kids are. We're just chaos. So, and we're having some amazing weather.
Did you step outside this morning?
Yes.
That's 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 40-mile-an-hour winds.
The roof comes off today.
No. It's rainy. It's cold. I knew it was raining because I could hear tick, 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 tick. And we have a leaky ceiling in the bedroom, even though we've had it patch jobs. They're all patch jobs, really and truly. We can't afford a new roof. But
I got up at 4 a.m. because my feet were getting wet.
oh
So
no.
I put the bucket and came
It
over here.
lands right at the hole is right where Bear's feet are on the bed. So when he feels his feet getting wet, he has to get up and go get the bucket. Then I wake up with a bucket. I'm like, oh, Bear's not here. The bucket is. It must be raining. Life in a 100-year-old house. Babe, was this house built in the 20s or the 30s?
It was built during the war, 1940.
Oh, okay. It was built in the 40s. So.
You hear that? It is windy.
Very windy. Very windy and cold. So we're going to go and enjoy the weather and make our Thanksgiving grocery list. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday.